Fratelli, the Rugby podcast. The Italian Rugby podcast. Fratelli, the Rugby podcast. The Italian Rugby podcast. The Italian Rugby podcast. The Italian Rugby podcast.
Welcome everyone, ciao a tutti, benvenuti in a new episode of Fratelli di Rugby podcast. What a nice Monday is today, Mike, right? Isn't
Yeah,
it
no place I'd rather be, Otto.
Right, we cannot be mad as we should have been. Actually, we were a little bit mad during the game, but then victory is always the best placebo for every kind of issues. So we are here tonight and we're gonna talk all about Italy, Australia, 26-19. The second victory, back to back. We did it again. Whatever we want to put. Quesada crash a banner behind his box. So a lot of stuff happened, but we won, Mike. So you have the power to speak about this game to start.
Yeah, man. Like I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing for so many different reasons. It felt like it was a performance which we expected. I think, like both of us on our previous pod, we were quite honest that we thought that we had a good chance to win. I don't think we were saying stuff that was ridiculous. But I don't think the rest of the sort of rugby viewing population really expected this. And I think it was a mature performance. Obviously, we're going to go into it in more detail in terms of, you know, the where they could improve and where they need to improve for next week and all of that good stuff. But I'm so excited. It's really, really like the feeling of, well, seeing the ability of like Stephen Varney, for example, someone who struggled a little bit at test level, and we were saying, keep an eye on this kid, come on, like if he's good, he's going to be there. We see what he can do at his best, and now everyone else can see that too. So things like that, where you and I have been talking about these players like ad nauseum for God knows how long, they're starting to get some the respect that they deserve.
Absolutely, because this game we did everything possible to try to win it. Scoreboard pressure. We mentioned that last week, and this happened in the first half when they scored twice, and we were there close thanks to the Garbisi's kicks, and then we keep playing despite the decisions. We were mad for the decision in the field by the ref that try that rip, not rip, knock on, whatever. But they were much more aware that they can win these kind of games, and they did it. They didn't fuck it up. Something that so many times happened in games where we went just a little bit moving, trying to scoring, and then maybe two tries against us. This time, no. Another really, really good effort. Evidence of what consistent game time can do to a player with talent. Say Josh, and this probably we can put it to the full team that is growing. Take also another Exeter chief player this season, Zambonini, that came through a path through Zebre, and he was really good in the field. Other players that we know what they can do, but they showed more than usual. Because when you have Ioane playing that way, how confident was, and by the way, Capozzo playing on F15, Menoncello being consistent, Brex a silent killer in this game, because we didn't see a lot of classic Brex, but we saw efficient Brex, which is so different. The impact from the bench, but you mentioned Varney, so we go back there. And the first half, Mike, so we can chop the game in quarters, kind of. The box kick accuracy and how much Ioane put pressure on Carter's Gordon 3 times in the first half. That was great, like technique and tactical by Quesada and the players in the field.
Yeah, execution perfect, tactics great. Varney kicking, like the box kicks were exceptional. Like you said, Monty showing a side to him that we haven't traditionally seen, like where I think the first one he actually won the aerial contest, ended up with the ball. The second one, I believe he loses it, but he strips the ball, and when it gets back on the floor, um, he was brilliant. And like you said, I think that was the best game I've seen him play. I think he was exceptional.
Always against Australia, seems like Mike. He,
Australia.
he is the guy.
Yeah.
Like who was mentioning? Like I know him since he was a kid. I don't
James
remember if it
O'Connor.
was
Yeah. From
on.
the age of 16. Yeah.
Since he was a young kid, not 16, not 6. But so that was fun because also the two Australians. Do you remember we spoke about like last minute ball to
Yeah.
Lineag? Wasn't ball to Lineag in the last minute, but thank God Lineag scored a nice try.
You know what, Otto? Just on that point, and we're going to come back into it because I know you're doing the whole timeline. Remember that point? We said Liner last try near the end of the game. Remember that point because I'm going to bring it up.
It was first 20 minutes, Mike. We were there with we were ahead in the score. We were like 6-0 in the first 20
Yeah,
minutes. So we won those 20 minutes where usually we always like we suffer
start
the
slowly.
attack of the opposite team, and usually they score against us in the opening 20. So that was something that already let me think during the first 20 minutes. Okay, we are there, 6-0. We can put pressure with another 3 points. So it was a really good on that aspect of the game, and that brings us to the opening 20 minutes of Garbisi, where I really like something that I usually criticize him, like attacking the line to release pass. And in this game, I saw a lot of that. He didn't suffer all game. Probably two occasions. In the second half, Daigunu attacks straight like crash ball from line out. One time he really like
Went
walked
over him.
past,
Yeah,
yes, over him. But Garbisi and Varney first 20 minutes were important in the game. Then the two tries. How you think why those tries came against us?
yeah. I watched the opening. So I've got a different view to when I first watched it because I rewatched it today, and I think at first viewing with the line break, I thought it was that they had forced Zuliani to make a decision, but actually
Yes.
it wasn't. The space was there because Menoncello was too close to the line, and then they pumped the pass and they managed to get through for that initial line break, right? Um, and I feel like with that, with any Australian side or any of the top 10 sides, right, a moment of turning off should result in a try. What I'm quite happy with, though, Otto, now that we're talking about the timeline in the first 20 minutes, as much as we saw a turning off, right, we saw a little bit of a switch off. It wasn't for like a 15-minute, 20 minutes. They managed to score off at Maul, and if we're being really honest, we're quite lucky that they scored off the Maul. Because there was probably some other stuff coming had they not scored.
Oh, there was
And then
Giuliani over, completely over.
yeah. I was I was mad about that. By the way, I was mad. But anyway, we move forward. I feel like there's bits there that we need to improve because Razi's watching those clips and how dominant South Africa are at Maul, and he's licking his lips there. So that's areas that we need to improve quickly ahead of next week.
It's gonna be hard on that side. We did well in the first game against them um, in the summer tour. We even scored that 20 meters plus drive, but of course, then in the second game they did the opposite. So
Yeah,
they really are there. Just to point about Barney Garbisi and South Africa, I will say we play really well, but probably Reinach and Gomez Zulu 9-10 combo probably even better than ours because they also scored one try each. So and
Yeah, they were
and of
good.
course they won a crazy game in 14. But still, we won our game. Mike, talking about Australia for a second, the team they put in.
Mhm.
Uh, we were surprised about not seeing Jorgens and Tiziano. Seems like we
Son was
were right
injured.
on that. But they bring something different. Even Samu and Valentini coming in only in the last 10 minutes, that was crazy. If you think you want a player that can put you
Front foot,
on
yeah.
the yes from foot totally something like that.
Yeah.
So, but and in first 20 minutes, despite everything, they after the first 20 minutes they found the score. They were able to attack around the rack, but then we fixed it so much in the second half that was key. So we learned through the game
Yeah.
to get
We
better.
adapted.
We adapted.
Yeah.
Something that we are learning to do more and more, which is probably the best. Then Mike, I think, second half. So in the first half, we were there, we were close. We probably could have been in a even better position with probably the last possession of the first half when we attacked really wide. We had a couple of situations like that.
Yeah.
There was something there too.
Yeah, for sure. Like there was I think it was twice where there was twice, two or three times. Right, one time it didn't work,
Early,
but we
early in the first half,
right at the end.
was yes.
Yeah, so there was a couple of times where we went blind, and I think it was something obviously that Quesada and the coaches had analysed. Once right at the end of the first half, where it was Varney and Liner, and it was a 2-on-3. But I don't. They must have spoken about it, so that was probably something that was pre-played because every time it worked, every time in the second half they did do that, they were making yards. They're finding like soft shoulders. Also, one thing that I noticed, they were kicking to try and tie in um, Harry Potter because of how good he is in the air and trying to get him into the ruck. And then as soon as he was committed, they were trying to kick again. So, yeah, it was. I think again, Quesada has sort of proven that he is a very, very world class coach. Um, and long may it continue because the team are growing under him.
Talk about that. I mentioned yesterday for the Italians, but the Quesada is in a really positive situation if we look at the results for Italy. 20 gained by with Quesada as a head coach, 8 victories, 1 draw, 11 losses, 40% wins, 45% if we add the draw that should have been a W, a big, huge W if it wasn't for that ball falling at the
Yeah,
last moment. We won 3 games in the Six Nations because had a draw and 6 losses. During the summer tour, we have 3 wins and 3 losses. Out of the international last year and this year, 2 victories and 2 losses. Here we can go probably, let's say, the 3 wins, 3 losses if we add the next 2 games. Because we're
yeah.
gonna win against South Africa and we're gonna lose against Chile, right, Mike?
Imagine. That would be the most Italian rugby thing. Yeah, imagine.
The most Tafazzi moment, and this is for the Italians listening. Really Tafazian can be something like
Yeah,
that.
you know what? I'm just hoping, right? Because I know we're going to come on to talk about South Africa. I'm just hoping that we see consistency. That's all we want. That's all every single Italian fan wants. It's
Every
just
time,
every time, every
every time.
time.
Consistency and focus on the performance to be better. And Quesada was mentioned before the game. I said this. He said the opposite team scored the tries that they deserve. Seems
Mm,
like no, quelle che si meritano.
mm.
Like we have to do everything we deserve. And then maybe we can be lucky in some situation. But for the next game, this is gonna be. And in this game, we did everything. We lost some situation like this that we mentioned, but then we play a really good attacking rugby. I think always with this pod, the moving pod in the middle,
Sliding.
3+1,
Yeah.
sliding, moving
Yeah.
behind. We spoke about. We want to see much more Ioane involved into the field, and this happened. Look at all these breaks that he got on the Linux side, on the 13 channel, kind of.
Yeah, well, he was super busy, wasn't he? And actually, it's something that you made me think as well. Were we trying to slide because Australia are more passive in defence and deploy more of a drift defence as opposed to like something where there's going to be blitz, so there's less time on the ball, and that's why we were able to slide and overload on the fringes because we were just transitioning in our shape better than they were in their defensive shape. So I assume that's what the thought process behind it, which sort of brings us on to what we're going to do on a blitz defense.
Good. Oh, good point to the defense in general. Huh? This is a good point because the approach in defense, Mike, was something in this game. You said like blitz defense, and we did kinda a blitz defense in this
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
We had all the time Varniger busy
Right.
pushing up a lot
Closing
to
the
close the
space.
situation.
Yeah.
So many times they were not looking straight in front of the defender, they were completely closed in the line of the pass.
Yeah.
Or the option. So the only option possible was a slow high ball pass, kind of chip up, and then from there is the time from the back three to move forward and close the gap there. So we did a lot of that. It is not that. It's not our style of defense we saw every time.
Yeah.
But much more proactive and active in the two wide channels.
We got to be careful against South Africa though, because they're talented enough to be able to grubber behind that. So behind the blitz, just a simple grubber, and you leaving yourself on a 2-on-1 or 3-on-1, depending. It's the bot. We just have to be careful. It's not going to work against them.
In case they're gonna play with the Allende 12, the Allende can chip the ball behind. Gomezulu kicks in every way.
Yeah,
Running nine
well, yeah.
can do. Running nine can do the same in that position, and I mean they are always quick. First with the ideas, okay, we're gonna do that and we're gonna move in that way, and it works really well. And in case it's not gonna play, let's say the Allende, but they're gonna go with some, I don't know, Willems 12, still the same issue. Because Esther Ruiz and Mike, I think, is gonna play in the forward.
You think he's going to play there again?
If he's gonna play against us, I think he's gonna be in the forward again. Or he's gonna be bench just to give much more power in the second half, like he did, like he's doing actually for the box. Have you heard the conference by Joe Schmidt?
Yes. Yeah, I watched the 13 minutes. Yeah.
Thoughts on that?
I mean,
stressed.
Yeah,
The
clearly.
stressed.
I don't think any tier one nation likes losing to us, right? But no tier one nation likes losing to us like they lost to us, because they weren't. We realistically, right? If you take out some decisions and stuff, poor decision making on our side, stuff outside of our control, that could have been like a 14, maybe more margin to us, right? If we were poor decision making, what I'm talking about is Rutsa not giving it to Liner, which I said I was going to come back to it. Now that we're here, right? Now that we're here, I'm bringing it back. I gave the script, Rutsa. I gave it to you. Just pass it to Liner. He's going to score, right? And then on top of that, the drop goal the 3 points, and then like I said, the stuff that's outside of our control, whether you agree with the ref or don't agree with the ref, doesn't really matter. Don't really care. I thought Andrew Brace minus that had a good game personally. It could have been it could have been a 17 point more on top, right? And they would have had 7 points less, and all of a sudden it looks like a thrashing. And realistically, like against a better team, like we'd suffer from it, but we didn't. And that goes to show how well we played, right? How well we didn't allow them to play. The pressure that we put, like the fact that people were talking about the kicks in full, right, as a reason. We were just saying we were targeting Gordon pretty much the entire first 20 minutes, right? Of course he's going to make mistakes because he was constantly running back and forth and up in the air, and positionally, like, he was all over the place. That's because of what we did,
I'm gonna pick few of the messages that I missed in the meantime. It's impressive how they always underestimate us. Italy is a team that keeps getting better and mature with time. Good for us. International rugby doesn't see us coming. What a lot of stuff. Only bad choice by Varney. Not agree with you, Caccol, at all. I don't think was good. Even the first attacks in the of the first half, everything was pre-planned. Attacking crash ball, moving inside, playing on that blind that they were mentioning, and we attacked 3 times, 3 different ways around that. So there was something really organized. Is Quesada better than Costa? 2 different eras, I think. And so then
I don't like playing the who's better game. Doesn't for me.
yeah,
It's
these
immaterial.
happen, but I think we are more consistent for in the last 2 years with Quesada than with Conor O'Shea. Yeah, we don't have that streak of loss in the Six Nation in the last 2 years that we had Quesada, because we have 2+1 victory. Let's see. Reverse on the reverse defense, only bad choices. Not agree yet, but let's see. Not going to work. Okay, now I understand what we're saying. Alan never came on, and let's say, but Marin, in which moment of the game came on? In the 79 minutes in the last minute.
I I don't remember him coming on at all. To be honest, did he come on?
I remember to have seen the graphic coming
Hmm.
up before the line out, the last line out. So I don't know if it happened a few minutes earlier. I'm gonna rewatch it, but I didn't pay attention, so I didn't see. Maybe just because we were tackling and tackling there.
Yeah, I like Ruta at 6. By the way, when he came on, I thought he was he's rusty. Like, let's be honest, he's rusty, but like I like him at 6. It was a good decision to bring him on. I don't know if it was forced or not, but
Brace an extremely good game. Whether you agree with this decision or not, you explain this machine again very clear. That's true. That
agreed.
we should say that.
100% agree with that.
Kaka, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
really good.
rewatch this action in the 79 minutes. 79 minutes came in. Yeah, just
Yeah,
because
Manoncello potentially being injured is something that we do need to talk about as well.
Marin came on for Manoncello, but this is it. Mike, you think we're gonna go with the same team next week?
No. I think I know Quesada. He likes consistency in selection and consistent, but different horses, different courses. I think we need to have, we need to manage our energies better that game. So we need to play in a style that's going to suit that better for us. We need realistically to play a high tempo game and make sure that our backs are going to be able to endure, right? It's a game of attrition, right? They're going to have to out endure the the Springboks backs, and then the forwards are just going to have to use agility, speed. We're going to have quick ball and everything that the Boks are really good at countering. We're going to have to do. So for me, I think we're probably going to see quite a lot of the same in the forwards. I thought the forwards had a good game. Don't need to mess around with that.
The
he
news
might
of
want
the
to
week
choose.
is Ferrari invited, Neo Diaz not invited, but he is joining the team
Yeah, I mean,
100%. So
Zuliani put in a shift. You got to think as well, like when I'm saying managing energy levels, look at the players that really put in a shift. Like Cannone put in a massive shift. Both Cannone did, right? Vincent put in a good shift. Zuliani put in a monster shift. These are players where, and I know we're talking about 14-man South Africa, which we'll come on to with France as well. But these players are the ones where we need to sort of really manage the energy against this team, because it's not going to be easy a game.
no, it's not gonna be. Let's see a couple of changes. Better return kicker against South Africa, and what else? The
Favretto sticks.
second
Nice.
lock option. So this Favretto 6
I'm happy with
option to be the option there.
that. Yeah. I'll be happy.
So you're gonna start Ruzza.
Ruzza, yeah. Cannone just, I don't know, like he was so good, right? And it's not dropping him because he was bad. I think I'm going to be honest with you, and with everyone, like I've said, I thought he was my man of the match. It's more the fact that
Okay,
you need to look after that player as well. Like can't get him.
Mike, I will show you some stuff so we can talk about this too. Let me take off this and let put us here. These are the last 20 games of Quesada.
Right.
Okay, and these are the selection made by Quesada, and we can look through. So we can think like Fischetti is always playing, he's always starting.
Yeah.
So I think he's gonna be another game because of course this is is updated with Australia 26. So we see Fischetti. Spagnolos played against Argentina. Then Nicoder is the first choice, but Di Bartolomeo played the 2 games against South Africa. So I don't know if it's gonna be another game for Di Bartolomeo, to be honest.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I actually thought he was really good when he came on. Alberto makes a really good point there as well. He says, "Oh, we'll become quite light without Cannone on the tight head lock." True. It's going to sound. It's going to
Cannone,
sound.
Zambo and Ruzza starting, so all together. So Ruzza 6 for Josh. Ciao Robby. So this is the situation. Then let's see who else. Do you remember we were talking about? I don't remember if Vincent played with Cannone. Well, that
Yeah.
happened in the game we play against Japan. They start with Vincent 6 and Cannone 8. So we also clarified this stuff from last
By the
week.
way, I thought the balance in the back row was very, very good. Very
Yes,
good.
because we had Vincent. There was the extra center playing in that position all the time, giving guard,
The plus
offering
one.
guard the +1
Yeah.
man, and that works so well with us.
So he's so quick. There was one. There was one. There was one ball where there was a missed pass. I think it was off turnover. We were attacking in transition. Garbisi mispasses Menoncello to Brex, and then it's Brex, Capuozzo, and I didn't realise it was Vincent. And Brex
Yes.
mispasses to Vincent. And I was like, no. And then I see it's Vincent. He's just smashing the edge, and he's making this. I think it was actually to lead up to the try, wasn't the Monty try? Because it was
Yes.
Menoncello makes the break on one end, passes it back round, and then it's Vincent that breaks the other edge, and then we work our way in field. Man, that works so well. Like he's like you said, just an extra. He's just a freak athlete. He's just an absolute beast, and we're very lucky to have him. So yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him at 6 again. You know.
So it's interesting here all the opinion from the chat actually, because we have Josh that wants to see Roots. I can see Roots playing at 6. Kako that says we can touch the front row and the second row. So
that's to the point before about losing kilos. That's what came into my head. It's not going to matter against South Africa, is it? Like a couple extra kilos probably isn't going to matter too much. But yeah, it's one of those.
Mike, then Scrum, Fly Half, etc., is almost written by itself. What do you think? Or is gonna be now, because we said a lot about what we're gonna do, Mike. We're gonna play with Marine when we're gonna see Marine. So, what do you think is gonna be the
He won't be
decision?
playing 10 though. He won't be playing Fly Half. It's interesting actually because I think if we were trying to draw parallels to our scrum halves, Martin Pedro and Cobus Reinach quite similar, like in terms of style of play, like sniping around the ruck. You can see Cobus has played, for years in France as well. Like it's a similar sort of style that's been into him. And then like Varney is like what I would consider a traditional test, like 9, and they
More
have
English style, huh?
but like an English
Underneath.
style traditional like 9, passing very good, kicking good, like and that's more like Grant as well. So there's like I although he's so fast, it's interesting. I just
It's so good taking those mini gaps, Mike. Graham Williams.
yeah, man,
He takes
he's
so many
so
of those.
good. But also what I mean is like when in terms of like the support lines and attacking round in the blind and stuff, they're very similar in style of play with him and Varney as well. So I think we just replicate it. If Cobus starts, I think Pedro starts, and we'll have maybe Allen 10 if that's the case. I've got no. Garbisi put in work, right? He put in a lot of work. His body is going to be bruised and beaten. I have no issue putting Tommy in at 10 because Tommy's a great fly half. Like he's a great fly half. I think people sort of forget how good a fly half Tommy actually is because he doesn't play there as often.
So if you think to put all this together, Mike, so your expectation are, of course, we mentioned play the best as possible, but uh, you, how much you would like to change all this in the team?
In an ideal world, like if I was being uh, what I want and what's realistic is different, right? If what I want is play everyone that played and make small changes dependent on horses for courses. My expectation is that we're going to try and rotate because there's players that put in a lot of effort, and either it means that they're going to come off early, so maybe we're going to replicate the bomb squad where they have 40-50 minutes, they come off
Correct.
early, that's fine, right? If we're going to do that, that's fine. Or it means that you put someone else on and they come on like the bomb squad, 30 minutes to go, 20 minutes to go, whatever it is, to try and change the game or win the game out, whatever it might be. So there's two options. I think that Quesada, because he's more pragmatic, he's probably going to do the former. He's probably going to let him play for 40-50 minutes and swap them out. That's fine, but those 40 or 50 minutes are really important because we know South Africa can hold out games. Like they're defensively, they're too strong.
No,
If you get to like
and the
50, 60
resilience
minutes,
that they have to
right?
stay in touch in the game,
Yeah,
because every time they're always close, even if they're more than 7 points, let's say 8, 10 points, they're always there. They can always create something. So
yeah,
I think what we have to try to do in this game is gonna try to keep speed in attack. We were around 60% of quick ball, and we probably have to be a little bit better, not losing some free ball, let's say, like passes that you don't have to try to do in a game where we only offload twice, which is crazy if we think.
yeah,
Only two times is it's a really low number, Mike.
yeah.
I think that and play our style of rugby in a way to stay also in the team. So I guess we're gonna kick a lot, even just to move the scoreboard. Even if you are down, I think that is gonna be interesting to spend that minute more to keep your energy, to save some energies too. That is a way to that we have always to try to put in the game, I think.
Yeah, there's definitely a point where we shut up shop and like we defended well and we were like resilient and stuff. But I don't like the fact that we do it so early. Personally, if I was a coach, like taking the Rutsa break and that possible being like a try and seeing out the game, like for me, I think we're too comfortable defending a 7 or 10 point lead, and we need to be more proactive with attack. Right, not throwing ridiculous passes and overplaying like you're saying, but we do need to consistently attack because you expend less energy, right? How many games did we lose traditionally because we're quite comfortable just defending, and then like we let the team like back in, and it happened, last 5 years. I'm sure like everyone can pull up an example. It happens all the
One
time.
of those games, Mike. One example: the score by Scotland in the last minute of the game against us.
Yeah, perfect example.
That is like now it is happening.
Yeah, perfect. But like we need like that's different because that's slightly different because obviously I was saying we needed to attack, but we weren't winning. My point is, were we like 4 points ahead or 3 points ahead, we would have just kicked long and defended, kicked long, defended. But there has to be some risk and reward. Like if it's a shit kick and like they haven't like chased and they're offside, attack. Like still be pragmatic even in those situations.
Okay, got it now. Well, let's see. The team is not gonna come pop out tomorrow for South Africa. It's gonna come out on Thursday, like our team. The Italian team is gonna be out Thursday at 12:30 Italy time, 11:30 US UK. So that is gonna be.
Shall we move on to our opponents for the week?
Why not, Mike?
Otto, how good are South Africa? Tell me. Tell me how good they are.
The right person to answer. Thank you for the question, Mike. So South Africa was huge. Also, this game, 14 red, not red, whatever. There were a lot to talk about why these props are playing in the first half, and then they brought the, let's say, the good props, but the game was over when the bomb squad was in. With the intensity they put, they did a change in the first half that was pretty
with the prop.
Yes,
poor man. Like in my head, like I was like, oh
man, that sorry. So look at that. So there was that confidence in a certain way for France. They scored a nice try because the try they scored with Penaud, the first one, also the second one was fantastic by Penaud. But the first one, for me, the key there is that they don't pass through a rack. They keep the ball alive. So also just moving, turning around in that way allowed you to see the pitch, and so the players keep moving anyway. So if you have a player that goes, that feel that you're gonna put a kick there or he's gonna call you the kick there, you just go. Because that turning around with a fullback on the other side that moves on one side, and so it's late. That second and a half is something. Mark's fantastic. Oh my God, Mark's.
Yeah, best player on the pitch. He was
I
brilliant.
know, Mike. They killed the game in the second half in a really rude way. To be honest, like they were so rude, and they scored so quick. So nice tries.
Yeah, I mean, what can we learn from last weekend with South Africa? Minus that, whether they have 14 or 13 on the pitch doesn't really matter. That lethal is lethal, but what can we learn?
That you have to be brave. Not only we said we don't want all these, let's say, overpasses, but you have to be brave, believing in your in what you do daily with your team, and to showing that in the field. Brave in that way for me. So accepting the physicality of South Africa, accepting the pressure that is coming. That for me is the key. Because it's mental, and then let's see how much tactical is gonna be this game, or is gonna be just rude people pushing themselves over the line in a way on the other one. Like, I don't think we have to do the game. We don't have to play like South Africa, no, like the style. Okay, we're gonna go there. No, we don't have those energy, and Quesada knows it really well. We are a team that still move the ball in a different way. So I think, Mike, we have to be maybe better with the chances that we get in every game, in this game that is coming, because usually we can score tries.
Yeah,
But
no,
we
I agree.
also
I think as well, like one thing that was abundantly clear, we when we were able to ship the ball and like made the defense make decisions, particularly because they had big forwards, but they were slower than ours. We were making yards, and I thought Simone Ferrari in midfield was sick defensively. Like again, one that probably wouldn't have caught people's eyes just because he's not a glamorous player, but like man, he works so hard defensively. Like for a man to get so low, get up, never put himself in a position where he was anywhere near a red card. He was hitting people, chopping people down and getting up, getting into play. Like he was just everywhere. That's what makes me more proud, right? Like as an Italian fan, that's what makes me proud. It's the fact that like everyone put in effort, but it's also the people who go unnoticed because people are always going to say, "Oh, look at what Varney did, beautiful box kick," because there's a cause and effect. Whereas actually someone tackling, it just looks like their job, right? Especially if they're non-dominant tackles, but they're important tackles. There's one where they make a line break and the first person there, Simone Ferrari, like trying to make things like that are just so important. And finding a way to really like emphasize that they were willing to stand up and fight every single time. That's potentially something they need to bring into the next match because they're going to fucking need it, mate.
we needed totally. There was a nice tackle on Angus Bell by Ferrari wrapped around the
Yes.
ankle. That was
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah. Was
And
it Nick Frost as well, where Nick Frost makes that half line break and Ferrari's like comes in, uh,
just there.
first one there makes the tackle, slows the ball down, dark arts, right? Beautiful.
A couple of things about props. On the other side, the impact from the bench of Spagnolo with the turnovers, slowing down the ball and everything. He had at least two clear turnover plus the one they tried to pick and go on the line, and he was already there, so he wrapped the ball and stayed there. Uh, Max, I have a question about Tupo. How down is going is rugby?
I don't know, man. Like I just feel like he's not being utilized in the best way. Like he still made some hard yards against us.
Yes, that's true. But I don't see him being that Tupo in that we knew years ago. I don't know. I have more this idea about him.
yeah,
It doesn't come only from this game, huh?
yeah. For me, I think it's more like if you have someone with every coach looks at a way to get the best out of the team, but best out of the individuals. Schmidt isn't really a kind of coach that would benefit from Tupo, although you would see him running off nine more. But actually, maybe that's not his role, and maybe he's not deemed a carrier as much as he used to be. Because really, what he does well is like running, right? Like his carries are so much better than his defense. He's probably an above average scrummager in terms of like against the best in the world. He's probably. I mean, I think he lost some scrums against Fischetti. So like just to go to show like he's like an above average scrummager. But his USP is like putting his head down and scratching at the floor and running at defenders. That's what he does, man. And we're not seeing that, so it's tough, isn't it?
To avoid a series of injuries, as Josh hasn't recovered to the heights of his past. The rack, that is going to be the big fight around the rack.
War within the war, eh?
War in the war, the way I think we have to be really careful with that, but we also do work smart with the nine, calling all this. situation that usually is the player around, but I also think about the tackling, the tackler, the way the tackler works after the tackler, after the tackling situation, the way he stand up, the way he moves around, it can cause a lot of damages to our flow in attack. So I hope in some situation we're gonna see again this Capozzo walking around Capozzo and then ready to move a ball quickly because it's the right moment to move this ball.
Was going to say as well, I love the fact that anytime it was on the
Was
fringes,
any
he
yes.
he went in and played scrum half. Love that. Love that. Again, like it's something we've spoken about, at great length, having multiple distributors on the field and like his passing like on off the base and his passing out of hand is beautiful. Like he's just such a talented, again, like people see like the steps and they see the athleticism, but his soft skills, minus maybe his kicking, which looks like he's improving, um, are exceptional. He's world class. He's just world class.
Another question, so we can talk about Australia always and South Africa.
Hmm.
We saw another great game, but let's say the work he did is the one that we expect from him, which is Zuliani in the rack. And what is going to be the Zuliani treatment by South Africa? How are they going to diffuse the threat?
Yeah, I think they're probably just going to try and anytime he's second man, they're just going to hammer him, aren't they? Like there's only one way to stop it. Yeah, yeah,
They're gonna just steal in the supporter player. They're gonna be so close, so ready just to boom, boom, like double it.
yeah. They'll line up a pod on him every time, get him in the ruck, and then they're probably gonna like they reset and vice versa.
Hold him on the ground.
Yeah, usual dark arts, and Peter Steph Toy is probably the best in the world at that. So he'll do the dark arts. He'll he'll pin them in.
A
Um,
human side.
Yeah, I mean, what the thing is, what can we do? We could potentially say, Cannone, you have more of a responsibility to poach because we know Cannone can, and Zuliani plays a different role. Like, I know his best role, his USP is his jackling, but maybe we find a different means to get you know him in the game, or maybe Otto
More on the
Zuliani comes
edges.
on in the second half. Like maybe he comes on the second half and we see, I don't know. What about Odiasi start? I don't know. Like I'm a romantic. It'll probably be a sit. It'll probably be Favretto, like we were saying. But yeah, we'll see.
Let's see what's gonna happen, Mike. I think we're gonna try to have a quick chat before next game when the teams are out, so we can always talk with facts in front of us, right? With the list of the 23 of each team.
Yeah,
Let's see if there's gonna be any surprise by
try and do a
South Africa.
quick live on that when they come out. If we can, we'll just do a quick sort of
Just a quick, we're gonna give you an update way about this game. Always on Fratelli Rugby. I think, Mike, that's everything for today. We are happy, of course, of the winning, but there is already another game coming. So we touched this South Africa game in Torino, and of course, guys, if you are in Genova, let me know because I will be in Genova for Italia Chile. So let's have a drink after the game, before the game. Let's have a chat together or a piece of. Remember that focaccia, Mike?
so good. Yeah, so good.
My God, focaccia con lo stracchino,
Yeah,
buonissimo.
I'm jealous, mate. I'm jealous. Although you have you found your place to stay? Is it in the
No,
heavens again?
no,
Yeah,
no, there's not that the place. No, the castle on the heaven,
yeah. He
the owl
just for
castle.
context, last time we were there, Otto found us an Airbnb and we needed the SpaceX to fire us up into
Let's
stratosphere
say
to get.
that those 2 days we didn't skip leg day.
No. Yeah, we did
No,
good.
no, it was crazy up. So yes, let's see if it's possible, guys. But anyway, thank you everyone to interact with us on another live on Fratelli Rugby podcast. If you are watching this video tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, just drop us a comment. It's gonna help us moving around the algorithm. You know this stuff. that we need. So that's it for today, Mike. Forza Italia another time. See you soon, and of course, let's stay tuned on Fratelli di Rugby podcast. Ciao a tutti.
Fratelli the